That was why it was carrying the aroma of flowers. Nowadays, you go into the city, you will get nice breeze. Along with that, you will get nice aroma also. Of what? You will get aroma of sewage. Unfortunately, that's the way our modern cities are designed. There hardly you'll find any gardens, hardly you'll find any flowering plants. It's very difficult nowadays. But then, in the olden days, the cities were designed in such a way that every city would have beautiful parks, gardens. That used to be the center of every city. But nowadays, we have big concrete buildings and very dense populations, because of which what happens? You have to have, all the sewage gets collected and all those kind of things start happening. So, even though big cities were there in the yesteryears, in the Vedic times, still the whole city would be very beautiful and very pleasing to walk around. The breeze, the plants, the fruits, the trees, everything would be very pleasing. Actually, human society is supposed to live in this manner, in harmony with material nature. And in the Vedic times, the whole civilization was, the consciousness of the civilization was how to utilize this human form of life to advance in spiritual life. So whereas in the current day world, the whole consciousness of the civilization is how to exploit material nature and maximize my sense gratification. So material nature, if we live according to the laws of material nature, there is ample opportunity for sense gratification, but not for unlimited, unrestricted sense enjoyment. In a limited, restricted way, in the manner it is mentioned in the Vedas, sense enjoyment is there, not that it is not there. But then, as it is said, the earth produces enough to satisfy the needs of a man, but not the greed of a man. Now the whole civilization, human civilization, has become so greedy for sense gratification that all the laws of material nature are discarded. And we try to exploit material nature. Because of what happens, material nature also starts reacting. So, as Prabhupada is mentioning, the demoniac people who are accustomed to all kinds of forbidden, sinful activities, they'll create such a situation that the material world becomes an unbearable place to live in. So we have to understand that we are accountable for our actions. Whatever I do, there will be some reaction involved. If the civilization is engaged in sinful activities, then material nature will give suitable reaction. We will not be able to enjoy. We will not be able to enjoy very happily. Just like if there is a criminal and if he thinks, I will engage in all sorts of antisocial activities and I will steal, I will rob people, and with that money I will enjoy. It is not possible. Why? Because the police department will start running after him. And they will not allow him to live peacefully. They will go behind him until he is behind the bars. So in a similar way, if the whole civilization is trying to go against the orders, against the order of material nature which has been given by Krishna or Vishnu, then what will happen? Then we will not be allowed to live peacefully. We will have to, there will be various reactions that will come. We may increase our comforts, our conveniences. We may invent many material scientific inventions we may create to give us more comforts, to give us more sense gratification. But what will happen? Material nature will make the situation worse and worse. Even though our conveniences, material conveniences increase, what will happen? Material nature will also keep increasing the pressure on us, by which we will not be able to happily enjoy those conveniences. Some pandemic will come, some cyclone will come, some flood will come, some tsunami will come. Actually, if you see, the amount of sinful activities in this material world is growing. That's how Kali Yuga is. In Kali Yuga, the sinful activities of the people keep on increasing. That's how you see the whole material world. Actually, this year especially, if you see, this whole world has been in total turmoil. It began with the pandemic. Then in the United States, there was an election. There also turmoil. And you see in Chennai, there is cyclone, turmoil. And now in Yeluru, Andhra Pradesh, some unknown disease. Some 300 people are in the hospital. 2-3 people have died. Again, turmoil. Everywhere it is, there is no political stability. There is no environmental stability. People's jobs, there's no stability. If you go everywhere, people are saying tens of lakhs of people have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. So there is no stability anywhere. Whereas you see how the Bhagavatam is describing when Krishna was going to appear, even the sacrificial fire, even though breeze is blowing, was very steady. So to that extent, steadiness is there when the whole civilization is directed towards Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand that whether at the civilizational level, whether the global level, or at the national level, or at the individual level, even an individual, if he engages in sinful activities, he cannot expect to remain happy with the results of those sinful actions. So this is the real fact which people become blind to. People are blind to. They are not able to appreciate, they are not able to see this. That if I commit sinful activities, I will have to suffer. And if as a civilization we engage in sinful activities thinking that we will make all the arrangements for sinful activities and we will manage the show, no. Whether at the individual level or at the civilizational level, it is incumbent upon us to live our life free of sinful activities. Otherwise, we are bound to be in a situation where we will not be peaceful. So, what we have to understand is that the human life is meant for a higher purpose.